The Auto Club 500 on Fox is presented by Q Motor Oil, the heat-activated oil that helps maximize the power of your engine. Unleash all your horses. And sponsored by Lowe's, proud home of Jimmy Johnson and Team 48. By Sprint, proud partner of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Just 28 laps to go here in Fontana. Then tonight on Fox, here's the Fox primetime lineup led by The Simpsons at 8, 7 Central. For the first time in a year, Tony Stewart is out of a race before the checkered flag falls. Dick Bergman's with him.
What an up and down day. Looked good at the beginning, then the tire, that looked bad. Then you got your situation back, and then the engine.
Yeah, we had a good day, but a bad day. I mean, there were a lot of things, having the flat tire that got us behind, but, we had a fast race car, and that's real encouraging for the whole year. So I'm really excited about this Home Depot Monte Carlo SS. It's going to be a good car all year. Really proud of the guys. They did an awesome job. We had a miscue in the pits and went from leading the race to 15th, and I think we got back up to 4th or 5th and then had the tire go down. So, fighting back from a lap down, that was pretty impressive effort. I thought everybody did a great job, and I don't think we had anything for Biffle there. We'd made a change and made it the wrong way, but if we'd had one more shot at it, we might have been able to stay with him.
You were looking good. We'll see you in Vegas.
You got it.
17 cars will be on the lead lap for this restart. They're all in the outside lane. As the Chevy Pace truck hits pit road, it's Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon in second, Greg Biffle, who's led most of this race, Jimmy Johnson, Gordon's teammate, Casey Kane in a Dodge, then Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, and Jamie McMurray.
Hadn't mentioned McMurray much, and there he is. He and Jeff Burton, 7th and 8th. Lingering around back there. Yaley's still in 10th, so a lot of good cars still up there in the front.
Carl Edwards in the 99 trying to go to the high side. He restarted back there in 10th.
Boy, these restarts are something, aren't they, Larry? Look at those cars just fan out and go everywhere. 3 wide into the corner.
I thought on that restart I saw a little water shooting up there. We're getting a report that Dale Jarrett in the 88 UPS car is starting to overheat here with 27 laps to go.
Yeah, it's that time of day when all that rubber and stuff's built up on the grill, so that's very possible.
There's an overflow hose at the base of the windshield on the right side. That way the driver can actually see when it's overheating, starting to spit water out. You can see it.
Yeah, there it is.
You can see it right there.
It's just late in the race. These 500 miles on a track like this, the old engine has had about all she wants.
This is rush hour. Jimmy Johnson takes 3rd.
And where did he come from? Oh, car around. Who is it?
Greg Biffle in the 16 car. We got a car spinning over in turn 4 as well.
Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch.
And nobody hits him.
Yeah, I think Greg Biffle's engine was starting to let go on him.
Well, he complained about it, but I would have sworn it was the wind causing him trouble. Yeah, he's got smoke.
But Darryl, we went 400 miles. We didn't have any cars fall out, and now here within about 10 laps we've had 3 cars that has had engine problems. Remember, that was one of the keys to this race is engine attrition in the last 100 miles.
I know people probably say, well, you said it enough, but this is the most critical time when it comes to the engine department.
Try and figure out what caused Kurt Busch to spin.
I've got to believe some oil or fluids out of the 16 car.
Or unless cars started checking up
and he got hit from behind. That's possible.
Now the sun's low in the west. You see that going into turn number 3. Visibility can be difficult down there in 3 and 4.
Let's see what happened here, Larry.
See Greg Biffle up there going off into turn 3. We saw a little bit of smoke right there coming out the right side exhaust pipes.
Jimmy Johnson's kind of diving below that, so you don't see any oil right there.
Biffle was, Busch was pretty
he got hit. He got hit.
J.J. Yaley, the green 18 car.
18 got into the 2 and spun him, and look at this, right down in front of who
did he scare the pants off of right there?
That's amazing.
Besides himself.
Now we'll see it. Was it his teammate Newman? No.
Kevin Harvick,
Kevin
29.
Kevin Harvick.
My, that was incredibly close. There's Dale Jarrett.
Get down.
You can see the steam coming out of the right corner of his car.
Stay where you are. Keep coming. All right, you.
Doug Richard, crew chief for Greg Biffle. Richard at age 18 came out of Southern California as crew chief for a young Dale Earnhardt with the Rod Osterlund team.
This has got to be exciting.
Oh,
this has got to be.
This is Harvick.
Come on, come on.
Oh, I mean, he didn't. I guarantee he thought he hit him.
Nowhere in the world is there a thrill ride like this. Dick Berggren.
Well, Kurt Busch is in the pits. He came here, Mike, with 4 flat tires. Right now they're working on the right front corner of the car. They'd like this car to drop a little bit further on the racetrack, the nose of it to drop a little bit further on the racetrack. To Matt.
And Greg Biffle talking back and forth with crew chief Doug Richard. At one point he said, maybe I should just pull out of line because I don't want to mess up the race for the other guys behind me like Jimmy Johnson and the 9 of Kane and Jeff Gordon. Then he said, you know, I'm on 7 cylinders. I still have some go left in this car. He told his spotter Joel Edmond just to let those guys know I am on 7 cylinders, but I'm going to give it a go.
And Darrell, he'll probably be able to run around here about wide open around this racetrack on 7 cylinders.
When you see it smoke like that, though, Larry, it's got internal injuries. It's not going to last long. I think he probably needs to drop down and get out of the way.
Denny Hamlin will be the recipient of the free pass. Jeff?
Well, Mike, we've been talking about it all day long as far as the amount of RPM that these engines wind up going through as far as that's concerned. And Darrell's talked about it. We've been at a record pace for most of the day. This is what you call a half of a cylinder head. Greg Biffle said he thought he dropped the valve. This right here is a rocker arm connected to the valve, and this is where it works as far as taking gas in and out of the cylinder head to make horsepower. The valve is actually located right here. This is a valve. So if you wind up breaking a valve stem or a rocker arm for any reason, if you look right here, this is also a rocker arm, a valve spring. If you break a rocker arm or a valve spring, what can happen is this valve will fall down in, piston comes up, makes contact with it. Your day's pretty much done. And that's probably what's happened to Greg Biffle. He's broken a valve, gotten into that piston right there, and as Darrell said, more than likely, if the pieces are flying around in here, next thing's going to happen is that engine's going to break entirely. He may not make it the rest of the way in.
Mike, he's the only guy I know who carries one of these around in his coat pocket,
right
just in case these things happen. Once a crew chief, always a crew chief. Thanks for the explanation, Mike.
Greg Biffle led 168 of the first 218 laps. But now we come down to a restart, and the Vice Titans, 22 laps to go when they get the green. 2 Roush Fords out front, Kenseth and Biffle, who's on 7 cylinders, Jimmy Johnson Chevy, Casey Kane's Dodge, Jeff Gordon Chevy, Mark Martin, Carl Edwards, Jeff Burton, Jamie McMurray, Casey Mears. Who's got the best shot?
I tell you what, I'm shocked. Jimmy Johnson all of a sudden is in the hunt, and we haven't talked about him all day long, and here he is. He loves this joint, and now with the 16 car out, he's got a good chance.
Winner at Daytona last week.
And he got his first career Nextel Cup win right here at his home racetrack. Green flag.
Uh-oh, yeah, there's Biffle. He had to get out of the way. He can't go.
Yeah, he's having to get to the high side, and everybody's going below him.
Which is legal. That's the way you need to pass on a restart.
Yeah, when you saw the smoke come out the exhaust, that just tells you the engine is dying. So he needs to probably just get down on the apron and get out of the way before he oils down the track big time.
And right now, our leader, Matt Kenseth, he has 2 or 3 cars that's a lap down behind him, between him and second place Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car.
Matt?
Jimmy Johnson told his team, Mike, under that last caution, the car is good for a few laps, then it starts getting loose and looser. And then the crew responded, but remember, you're the Daytona 500 champion. And DW, I think you can understand exactly what Jimmy said next. Yep, and it puts a smile on my face to hear you say that.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's putting a bigger smile on his face just being up there where he is, and a shot at winning his 2nd race in a row.
And Greg Biffle just going to take it behind the wall.
Yeah, he pretty much needs to get off the track before he oils it down.
Biffle's in the garage. Kenseth trying to hold back the pack for another 20 laps.
And this is a battle for 4th right here. Carl Edwards in the 99 car. Remember, Jeff Gordon in the 24 only has those 2 fresh right side tires. And everybody else there, McMurray in the 26, Martin in the 6, Burton in the 31, all battling for positions with 20 to go.
And you got that right, Larry. I mean, right now it's take no prisoners. Give it all you got, baby. Don't leave anything on the table. You can hear them milking the throttle. They're working them. 3 wide off turn 2 and getting serious. Now it's 4
wide. Casey Mears takes it below Burton.
Just looking for some running room, baby. Looking for running room. Got
Casey
3 in
Mears, he passed 4 cars in that move down the back straightaway in the 42.
Picking up the pace. Kenseth's sitting there in pretty good shape, Larry. He's got those lap cars between he and the second place guys. He's in pretty good shape.
But now, Darrell, big picture, both the 2 cars between Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth are Hendrick owned or Hendrick powered.
Yeah, well, if Jimmy can get up there, I mean, he's not even close now. So if he can get up there, obviously the 25 car would get out of his way. But I don't think Jimmy doesn't seem to be able to catch up with the back of the 25.
I'm going to tell you what, the man on the move, though, we've been talking about it, Casey Kane in the 9 car. He just ran his fastest lap of the race a lap ago.
What I like about him is he's rim riding. He's up on the high side, and he's running where nobody is. It's good to see Casey Kane have a good run. He needs that for his confidence.
I'm going to tell you what, a car that has really benefited from all these cautions. It was not that long ago. He went a lap down, got the free pass back on the lead lap. We're riding with him. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's up in the 11th place.
Working on J.J. Yaley. In the green 18. The pass.
That's the thing about a 500 miler. She ain't over till she's over, and it's tough right at the end. That's when it's really, really pull out all the stops. Sometimes you hold back just enough to win.
But we were talking about it early in the race. As bad as these type of racetracks were for Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 8 team last year, if they could come out of here with a top 10, that would be a huge shot in the arm after their run at Daytona.
Well, particularly after he struggled all day long. I mean, he's not really been that competitive, but to get a top 10 would be big.
Fastest of all cars the last lap, Jimmy Johnson, who is a 2.5 seconds behind Matt Kenseth. Johnson's teammate Brian Vickers right there 1 lap down behind the leader. And Johnson trying to close and make it 2 wins in a row to start the season.
Well, even if he doesn't make it 2 wins in a row, a first and a second is a great way to start to pursue your first championship.
And Matt Kenseth, the race leader, who has won an Nextel Cup championship, trying to return to his winning ways. Steve?
Mike, it's been 13 races between victories for Matt Kenseth, his last win at Bristol in the fall. Now, you talked about all the changes. We've all been talking about him this weekend. Matt has a new spotter, Bob Jeffrey, who worked with Dale Jarrett for so many years. And what Bob is doing right now is telling Matt about the 48 car. He's telling him the 48 car is having trouble getting up off the corner. So Matt knows what the problem is in terms of handling on the 48.
Greg Biffle dominated this race, trying to be the first driver to do the California double, but now he's in the garage with Dick Berggren.
We really thought the first time we were going to see your face was in victory lane. What happened to that engine?
I don't know, but I tell you what, my hat's off to the engine guys. You know, we didn't have a failure all season last year, and you know, we're just making more and more power, and you can see on the racetrack how good these engines run. And it's just unfortunate. You know, we had a great car today. It looked like we had probably the best car. You know, the 20 was pretty tough, but I think we might have been a little better in the 17, but we'll never know.
In a bit of irony, Tony Stewart's car, which also just blew an engine, is parked right beside the hauler of the 16. They are parked side by side, Mike.
Well, that's the 2 teams that finished first and second in the Nextel Cup points last year. The 20 team, Tony Stewart, and Greg Biffle is 16.
14 laps to go. And Kenseth's lead now 1.35 seconds. Here's 7th place.
Now, Mark fell back a little bit on the restart, but his car's a long-run car. The more laps he runs, the better he'll get. So he's catching back up. He's not going to catch the leader, but he might get by a couple of these guys.